On a cold January morning in 1974, police in Wichita, Kansas arrived at the Otero family house and discovered a scene that would haunt the city for decades. 4 members of the family had been bound, tortured, and killed in their own home. Months later, local newspapers received a strange, taunting letter from someone calling himself BTK. In his own words, he stood for Bind, Torture, Kill. This was the beginning of a 30-year search for a killer who managed to blend into society, hiding behind an ordinary face and quiet community life. Dennis Lynn Rader was born on March 9, 1945, in Pittsburgh, Kansas. He was the eldest of 4 sons, raised by Dorothea and William Rader. The family moved to Wichita, where Dennis grew up. Reports from his later confessions indicated troubling behavior as a child, including the torture of animals and developing sexual fetishes involving bondage. Despite these signs, he appeared normal to most people, quiet, polite, and dependable. Rader served in the U.S. Air Force and later worked at ADT Security Services, where he installed alarm systems. He married and had 2 children. He was an active member of Christ Lutheran Church and served as its president. He maintained his image as a dedicated husband, father, church leader, and Cub Scout volunteer. Between 1974 and 1991, Rader murdered at least 10 people in Wichita and Park City, Kansas. He targeted women, but also killed men and children who happened to be at home. His attacks usually involved breaking into a house, binding the victims with ropes, cords, or objects found at the scene, and then torturing and killing them by strangulation or suffocation. On January 15, 1974, Rader cut the phone lines and entered the home of the Otero family. He bound and suffocated Joseph and Julie Otero, along with their 9-year-old son Joey and 11-year-old daughter Josephine. Josephine's body was found in the basement, hanging from a pipe, having been bound and gagged in a way that suggested sexual motivation. Rader confessed to speaking gently to Josephine before killing her, a detail that shocked investigators for its emotional detachment. Just 3 months later, in April 1974, Rader broke into Catherine Bright's home. Her brother, Kevin, was present and fought back, but was shot and managed to survive. Rader stabbed Catherine repeatedly, resulting in her death at the hospital. Kevin's account provided valuable clues to police, but they failed to identify BTK at that time. Shirley Vian, Nancy Fox, and others Rader continued targeting single women. Shirley Vian was strangled in her own home in 1977 while her children were locked in another room. Nancy Fox was murdered in 1977, her body discovered after Rader himself called the police. Over time, he killed victims such as Vicki Wegerle, Maureen Hedge, and Dolores Davis, each case displaying his signature method of binding, torturing, and killing. He often took small trophies like driver's licenses or personal items and left letters describing his actions in gruesome detail. Dennis Rader felt compelled to seek recognition for his crimes. Beginning in 1974, he sent detailed letters to newspapers and police, sometimes including information only the killer could know. His messages included sketches, puzzles, and taunts in which he demanded his nickname BTK be used. He reveled in sharing his fantasies and claiming responsibility for unsolved murders, making the investigation a media sensation. After 1979, he suddenly stopped communicating with the public. The city hoped BTK was gone, but investigators kept working on the case. Rader later admitted he continued killing, but remained silent in public for many years. Law enforcement spent years reviewing evidence and following up on hundreds of leads. Advances in forensic science, including DNA testing, helped build a case against the killer long after the murders themselves. Vicki Wegerle's murder in 1986 was not publicly attributed to BTK, but Rader sent the police a letter in 2004 containing a photocopy of pictures taken at her murder scene, proof only the killer could have. Rader asked police if a floppy disk he used to communicate could be traced. Police replied through a newspaper ad saying it could not. Rader believed this and sent a disk, which proved to be his downfall. So, capture data from Rader's floppy disk revealed a document edited at Christ Lutheran Church and created by Dennis. A quick search confirmed Dennis Rader was president of the church council. Surveillance found a car belonging to Rader at his home. The last piece was DNA. Police obtained a sample from Rader's daughter, which matched evidence from a victim. This led to Rader's arrest while driving near his home on February 25, 2005. In his confession and court testimony, Rader described his crimes as projects. He detailed each murder with chilling precision and admitted to the key facts investigators had spent decades compiling. He showed little remorse and his statements during sentencing were compared to emotionless acceptance speeches given by actors. Dennis Rader was charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. He changed his plea to guilty and was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms without parole, the maximum under Kansas law at the time. Families of the victims gave statements confronting Rader for the first time. Rader offered a rambling apology, but it was described as manipulative and unsettling. Rader is incarcerated at El Dorado Correctional Facility, where he continues to serve his sentence. Investigators still review his journals and writings, which may offer insight into other unsolved cases.